Hey guys, so in the first video when I was introducing the 2022 Sportsman XP1000S, since there wasn't a whole lot of videos out there kind of showing this new year what it brought forth, I mentioned about the snowplow upgrades. So I have finally completed them. Started today, and about 4.5 hours later finally got them done. The only thing that went right was the FallLine poly trim or skid plate. So just full disclaimer, I wish these were all my ideas. I actually took all of them from Franco. He's got a channel out there on YouTube, and he does a lot of plowing. He has an XP1000. I think it's the camo version, or the hunter version, sorry. Everything that you see here is exactly what he's got on his 66-inch Polaris HD plow. But great ideas. Poly, so the FallLine poly trim was to preserve the asphalt on that side of it. And then he was definitely right about the KFI markers. When you sit down on your XP, you can't really see the plow, so you'll do more standing up. And so with the markers, you can actually see that very clearly now. But the top deflector, that is actually a Polaris HD deflector. Got everything off of Amazon.com, and that did not fit. The keys, or sorry, the bolt holes and everything, as you can see, they did not match up. So you'll have to end up doing a lot of drilling if you go with that one. I don't even think it's available anymore on Amazon. When you go to install your FallLine poly, you're gonna definitely want to upgrade the bolts, and the 1-inch bolts that they come with anyway from just your metal blade, it's not gonna fit. So I think I used 2 inches, 2-inch galvanized 5/16" bolts. I used the washer and lock washer on the back. I used 1-inch 5/16 on the top there, except for where the markers are. I used 1.5 inches on that. So if you guys are going to make these upgrades to yours, hopefully that will help you on getting the hardware first, instead of making multiple trips like I had to. And then the fourth upgrade, and the more convenient upgrade, is the Sportsman angle system. Haven't gotten to use it yet, but it is definitely going to be a lot more convenient than getting off the machine, on the machine, changing your angle, when you can just do it manually now from your switch and your seat. But I will get into that actually here soon. But first, this is the manual handle. So once you install the angle system, you are no longer going to have a shear pin, so you won't have to worry about that anymore. And most of you guys know now, but if you didn't, this shear pin is actually double-sided. So if you don't have the angle system and you're still using the manual on your Polaris plow, you just take this out, flip it, and then you actually get the second time to go with that. All right, so angle system. So I have a Sportsman. You definitely want to make sure you go with the Sportsman. I think they make side-by-side ones too, for the razors and things like that. But this one in particular, the harnesses is what is important. And if you have an XP1000, the 500 series, 800 series, I'm sure this will install great according to the directions. However, if you have an XP1000S, you're going to have to get a little creative. So the takeaways on the instructions is how to install that. It's pretty easy. You just pop these 2 bolts out with the cotter pin underneath, and then put them back in. And if this is actually fully retracted like mine was, you'll have to wait till you have it hooked up to be able to extend it to put the last bolt in. So I already have it pre-prepped a little bit to help kind of explain what I ended up doing. And again, hopefully this will save you a few hours with me scratching my head. Hopefully you won't have to. But beginning of it, toss your directions. Go ahead, take your seat off. take your front storage out, and then take your left side panel off, and it's pretty easy. So these are just little pop. All right, well, get a screwdriver. Anyway, you pull that pin, and then this will just pull right out. It's pretty easy, sorry. There's a pin right there. So once you get that out, you'll have these front covers along with this front cover, and then go ahead and take this off, which is secured by 4, I think 25 T25s or T27s. So there's one here, one on the other side, and there's 2 on top, left and right, and then this will just slide right off. The same with here, there's 2 there, then take that front cover off. So once you get that off, then routing your harness is going to be a little bit easier. So this is what it looks like for your angle system. Installs right onto your brake metering. If you have side mirrors or the guards like I do, it just pretty much goes right on top. As you can see, that comes with spacers. So all this hardware is included in the system, which is very convenient and nice. So when you get that installed, you're gonna route through the handlebars, and it's gonna go up and under the top here. And then you just follow where all your harnesses are going to this conduit here, down to the left side, and that's why you have to take the side panel off. And it goes down under through here, and you're pretty much following now your winch harness. And once you get there, you're gonna come back up on the top side of your radiator, and that way you can connect. And so there's a red key wire that it will mention in the instructions. It makes it sound like it's right underneath here. Well, I'm not sure about the others, but on the XP1000S, there is key terminals that would accept it. I think one is yellow and one is like a brown with a red or gray line. Those are not it. They're actually right here in front, and it says 3, but it's only 2. So 2 connector, females on this side. The male side is what comes with your actual switch. They are right here in front. Another thing too is you can't tell, but this is actually a spliced wire, the red. The normal factory one stops about right here. So I advise getting environmental crimps. You'll need 2 at least, and then some self-adhesive heat shrink so to go over it. But need about 3 extra feet of wire, so that way it can connect into the front here, which makes me believe that on other models it would be here, because that's about perfect where you would connect. And then, as you see here, this is a whole harness for your angle system. Comes with the 2 relays, and the instructions make it look like it routes on the bottom of the radiator where there's nice 2 mounting screws. That is not the case here on the XP1000S. So I ended up using the 2 bolts for the battery bracket, and then kind of contortion it to where it would fit on this side of it with 2 relays. That way they were secure. And I don't know if you can see it. There you go. And then that harness for the cable that connects down to your other cable for the angles is running down back again behind the radiator through the front, and then that way there's your connectors right here. So as you can see, this is pretty tight. Luckily this is all the way down right now, so this is the tightest it will go. But if you route it anywhere different, you're just not going to have the slack, unfortunately, which is where I scratched my head a good hour, I think, on this part here, and how to contort these relays to give me enough slack to come back through and where to route. So hopefully that does save you time on that side of it. But once you have it all connected, you got your red wire for your power, your black wire for ground, and then this is the cable assembly, which right there connects from your switch that you have up on top for your angle system. And then once you're done with that, everything should work. Now, of course, I've already used it and make sure it works, so this is not the first time. It would be interesting, but just so that way you guys see it. So it's definitely going to be more convenient than having to get up and down off of your four-wheeler when plowing to change the angle of your blade. But that's the upgrade. So if you guys have any questions, if you are installing the angle system on the XP1000S, throw a comment. I'll try to help you through it. Other than that, have a good night, guys.